Hello everyone, this is my mini field research pilot, Beyond the Algorithm, an exploratory study of ethical storytelling in digital content creation. Here I present the context driving my research, the tension between algorithmic performance and professional ethics. Based on Bishop, on creative culture, and Duffy, on digital precariousness, I explore ethical friction, that is, the struggle of navigating platform demands while maintaining professional values. This structural dilemma is the foundation of my research question. How do we negotiate this tension? My goal is to understand how we can build value within the digital ecosystem. I examined the ethical landscapes where we operate, navigating platform demands versus personal convictions, and also the structural impacts, like work precarity, that challenge the integrity of our storytelling. So, I aim to verify how to shift the creator's role from a subject of metrics to an agent of value. This is the core of my investigation. My primary question focuses on how we, as professional creators, negotiate the tension between algorithmic pressures for virality and our ethical commitment to storytelling. To deepen this, I focus on two axes: editorial tensions from the lack of shared frameworks and the negotiation of narrative integrity against performative metrics. I used a multidisciplinary framework which served as the foundational structure divided into three pillars. First, methodological foundations, where I established the rigor of my approach, ensuring that my methods were well grounded. Second, reflexive and ethical practice. This was essential for validating my positionality and defining the ethical boundaries of this study. It wasn't just about following rules, but about maintaining a reflexive mindset throughout. And thematic tourism inquiry, which anchored my investigation within the specific landscape of digital storytelling. This framework allowed me to investigate the invisible process of ethical negotiation, the unspoken struggles that happen behind every piece of content that we as creators produce. To answer my research question, I used a hybrid design, semi structured interviews, and analytical autoethnography. This fusion is vital. The interview captures external participant experience, while autoethnography analyzes my own subjective as both researcher and creator. The core of this approach lies in my process of triangulation and synthesis. I don't just compare data, I integrate them to construct an ethical storytelling framework based on our shared reality. In preparation phase, I followed three specific axes: comprehensive literature review, positionality, monitoring my biases via field notes, and ethical rigor focused on research integrity. I applied RRU protocols to ensure informed and reflexive practice, protecting the well being of both the participant during the interview and myself as the researcher, as suggested by Robson and McCartan. To conclude this phase, the bilingual letter of introduction and the consent form were formally sent and accepted on July 4th and are available for review as attachments on Moodle. For this field design, I use a purposive sample for the interview, selecting a creator with significant professional authority. My autoethnography posture required a reflexive logbook to map daily frictions. This combination allowed for organic detours in the interview that purely extractive methods would miss, ensuring the integrity and depth of the data collected. For my interview guide, I used the Grand Tour Questions framework from Alice to allow the narrative to flow in three acts: identity and origin, to understand the participant's professional foundation; the friction point, where we dive into the real conflict between algorithmic pressure and the narrative integrity of the story; or the destination. This is where we explore those stories that creators want to tell but often feel they cannot. And the ethical future, focusing on long term professional integrity. While this guide served as a theoretical anchor, the field experience proved to be much more dynamic, transforming these questions into a living dialogue of co construction. The interview took place on July 9th and lasted 1 hour, double than the planned time. The participant arrived prepared with her own notes, which transformed the interview from data extraction into a co construction process. Because we share a professional background, the conversation flowed well, beyond my original guide. This deep access, however, introduced the challenge of mutual venting, which tested my research neutrality. I confess that, due to our common experience, there were moments where I shifted from being a listener to a participant, sharing my own opinions and risking the induction of the narrative. Looking back, I see this moment not as failures, but as rich data. They reveal the urgent need for these professionals to discuss ethics. For the next phase of this research, my methodological adjustment will involve establishing clear layers of distance, ensuring I can explore the B side of the participant's experience without my own voice inadvertently limiting the space for theirs. Now the lens shifts toward my own process. What began as an intuitive discomfort in my daily routine as a creator gained both name and meaning through academic literature. With my field notes, I realized that my struggle with the algorithm is an ethical dilemma. I seek visibility for relevant content and provides value to both consumers and destinations. Yet, performance metrics render me algorithmically invisible. This is defined as the algorithmic cage. I have come to realize that being an ethical creator today paradoxically means fighting the system that should provide the stage for your work. This conclusion, born from my own professional journey, is what grounds the necessity of this study. It is not just about my personal experience, it is about the ethical sustainability of an entire profession. Using Brown and Clark's framework, I found convergence between the interview narratives and my field diary. It illustrates how the triangulation between the participants' experience and my autoethnography solidified four analytical categories: algorithmic friction, editorial integrity, precarity of reach, and ethical accountability. It is important to note that these themes are not random. They emerged precisely where our professional experience overlapped, confirming that they are structural shared phenomena. Here I show the result of my reflexive process. The autoethnography method caused a fundamental shift. I moved from observing the other to investigating my own practice. I experienced the porosity of boundaries between researcher and object. Listening to the participants' pain forced me to analyze my own vulnerability. What I originally intended to study, the market ethics, evolved into an investigation of my own precarity. This shift demanded a real honesty in my field diary, which elevated my standard of analysis. It ensured that my ethical paradox, the immense difficulty of maintaining high standards when the system demands the opposite, was documented with absolute transparency. I have divided my lessons into three spheres. In myself, the insider paradox revealed that my proximity to the subject is not just a facilitator, but a constant challenge. I learned that monitoring my own bias became part of the data. Regarding method, my lesson was that the transparency of bias is more valuable than its supposed elimination. My initial frustration over not maintaining strict control of the interview guide actually revealed a fundamental truth. In qualitative research, rigid control is the enemy of authentic discovery. Finally, in topic, I confirm that the ethical dilemmas are not individual character flaws, but rather part of the systemic iceberg, pointing to the need for collective algorithmic governance. In conclusion, this pilot study validates autoethnography as a vital tool to map the invisible pressures of digital labor. The final synthesis is clear. Ethics is a systemic necessity, not a luxury. I have learned that individual responses to burnout and algorithmic pressure are insufficient. We must look toward collective accountability and governance models. Moving forward, I want to understand how to build ethical buffers and bridges between the creator's private struggle and public accountability. More than just collecting data, this pilot has given me the maturity to understand that in qualitative research, the researcher is the primary instrument, and the flexibility is my greatest strength to the next steps of this investigation. Thank you very much.